Who was Jim Dodding?
A tremendous model for how to live.
Jim Dodding was a force of nature.
A dear friend who was, and still is, very, very much loved.
He was a true English gentleman. He was the hardest working person I ever knew. And he expected everyone else involved in the production to work just as hard.
He had a special following. Everybody wanted to be in his plays.
And he would have a real interesting mix of students with theater students and maybe some dancers and football players.
The most thorough, organized, enthusiastic director I have ever worked with. Still.
Learn it all and then forget it. Think only of the play.
A person who came from the other side of the world and found this university in North Carolina and fell in love with it.
We looked forward very much to him coming, as he liked to say, I'm going over to the other side.
What I think a lot of people really responded to about James was his kindness and his way of taking people who were maybe flying below the radar a little bit and lift them up, or just let them know he cared about them.
Jim believed very strongly there was no such thing as a star on the stage. Everybody was equally important. Jim arrived here at the crack of dawn, and he would sit down at his manual typewriter and type notes for rehearsals, individual character sketches for every single student in your production.
He taught me a lot about how to reach for the best and accomplish some things that sometimes we never thought we could do.
Adventure and be bold.
The cool thing about him was that there's not a cynical bone in his body. And he always tried to lift you up as far as you could possibly go.
More than a man of the theater or director, he was an amazing teacher. We all learned so much from him. Not only about the theater, but how to live, how to treat people, how to get the best out of people. And this is something he could do better than anybody I've ever known. It was miraculous. It was magical.
He was just a really kind and good person, which I think is the best thing that you can say about him. James Dodding is nothing short of one of the great people of Wake Forest University. You'd be hard-pressed to find someone like, Jim Dodding, I don't really have an opinion about him. He was fine, I guess. Nobody would say that. It's usually just an outpouring of love, you know.
The fact that it's named for him would be almost embarrassing to him, I think. But the fact that we want to support students would be a cause he would be thoroughly behind.
If someone said to him, James, the scholarship is going to help students in the arts and the theater to be able to fulfill their dreams, he would say, well, that's exactly what I did with my life.
Mr. Dodding's legacy lives in all of us and will go on as long as any of us are alive.
May Wake Forest continue forever to be a place where reason, imagination, and faith flourish. I can no other answer make, but thanks and thanks and ever thanks.